the right is getting better at comedy, and the left is scared. I'm scared, chat. I'm terrified. Because the Daily Wire has teamed up with Adam Carolla of Man Show fame, if that's the word you want to use for fame, and whoever this guy is, who he did like really. We've seen him before. I can't remember his name, but he was incredibly unfunny. So I imagine if anything happens here, he's going to be the least funny of the three people here. But Ben Shapiro's on stage in a bolo tie, fancying himself with his cowboy boots, sort of a southerner, because he just moved. He just moved to Virginia or something like that. But South Carolina, maybe South Carolina. Do they even talk like that in South Carolina? I feel like there's a little South Carolina, but I don't know if that's actually true. Y'all sound like that over here? Is that more Tennessee? Shit. That's close. Well, I haven't seen this yet. So the Daily Wire teams up with Adam Carolla. Yeah, so I guess we're gonna watch that for a second. These guys are cringe, so.
Let's hear it for Adam Carolla.
Oh, he went to Tennessee? Hell yeah, Adam. Come on, bro. Like, it's a comedy show, so we have to be edgy. Like, come on, man. Is this a Elizabeth Warren statue, but Native American thing? And then they got looks like a very messy post bro day counter. Okay.
So I'm sure it's obvious by now that mostly this show is just us showing off. But it's not, we didn't only bring Adam out here so that we could say, hey, look, we're friends with Adam Carolla. We also wanted to tell you that, hey, look, we're going to do a show with Adam Carolla.
I'm excited, chat. Wow.
I am tickled pink. I love what you guys are doing. Obviously, I've been watching for a long time. I see how you guys are growing by leaps and bounds. It is so impressive, and for outliers like myself in Hollywood who are, always in danger of being wished out into the cornfield.
Look, my powers run deep for the cornfield, but Adam Carolla, if you'd like to not be part of the people that get consumed by the crop, I strongly suggest not sucking. I know. You're thinking to yourself, but Jake, I'm Adam Carolla. I do suck. Well, Adam, that can be true, but you can change. You can make a change for the better, Adam, and no longer suck. And all you have to do, it's very simple, to go from sucking and people saying, is that Adam Carolla? Ugh. Like, oh man, I like Jimmy Kimmel, but Adam Carolla? Ugh. You could go from that to, hey, that's Adam Carolla. That's pretty cool. By simply being likable. If you could change your life overnight if you were simply an enjoyable person to like view and witness. That's all it takes. So, you're welcome. You're welcome for the advice. Sorry about the cornfield stuff, but like, yeah, you get subsumed by the cornfield if you're wheat,
By the folks that never stop complaining about McCarthyism. It's nice, but it's mostly satisfying, and somehow you rest assured when you guys are doing what you're doing, like going out there and just starting your own, hanging your shingle and starting your own business and having a place for voices that may not be along the mainstream.
Obviously, Adam, you're one of the first guys who really got into this podcast space and really blazed a trail. And for Ben and I coming up, it was really so important to see that someone can go out and just actually do something. And one of the things that I talk about all the time, Ben, graduated from high school when he was 7.5 years old, wrote his first book when he was 14, won his first Pulitzer Prize when he was, for me, I'm not a college guy. I'm a guy who just thought, I wonder how many times I can fail in a row before they make me stop trying. And it turned out the answer was never. They just keep letting you try and try and try. And so what I think in this moment of cancel culture, in this moment where they're pushing people out.
Cancel culture. You can't sexually assault people. Cancels! Ah, cancel culture. Harvey Weinstein, why isn't he still allowed? It's like, what do you mean cancel culture, bro? You mean Dave Chappelle? Is that what you're talking about? Like Dave Chappelle, who had 3 Netflix series in the last 2 years? Like what? That just didn't he just do like a big live show with Joe Rogan? Or just sold it out? Like what? I don't know. Yeah, the cheering for him not going to college. I don't know. Lots of people don't go to college. Lots of people can't afford to go to college, kind of because of Ben Shapiro and the people that agree with him.
We were talking a minute ago.
5 Methoxy, thanks for the 12 months. That's a year.
To go about what can you do. One of the things that you can do is just do. Just get out there and do something.
One of the things you can do is do. Wow. What a fucking brilliant thinker.
You did that. We're doing it. We're glad to be doing it with you.
Well, safety in numbers. We always kind of talk about this COVID thing and what are we going to do? And the answer is, I'm from California, and when Newsom was closing down outdoor dining, I was yelling, don't do it. Just don't do it. Just if nobody complies, you'll be fine.
That'll be it.
You do it one at a time, you'll get picked off. You have to stay in the pack. You start falling behind, the hyenas will get you.
I mean, what actually happened is the hyenas in this metaphor was COVID, and then they just died. They were just dead people. If you would have just spent 3 weeks just chilling the fuck out and going home, this would have all been fine. Like, for real. 3 weeks, we'd have occasional lockdowns when there was a breach, but like about 3 weeks after the first initial things happening, like we could have just shut down, in like March, February, like before it really got here, because we saw it coming. Like, we were talking about it. There was news like, oh, this COVID-19 is going through China. It's gonna be a big deal, and then they're just like, nah, it's just bird flu. But like, they nipped those fucking flus in the bud, dude. Like, why not just like listen to the medical professionals for 2 seconds? Why do I think the guy that thought girls jumping on trampolines to bobble titty, like, has quality medical advice? You know what I mean? Like, if I want to know what trampoline is best for, like, D cups to get maximum jiggle, that's something I might ask Adam Carolla for. If you have never seen The Man Show, it's a show he used to do on Comedy Central with Jimmy Kimmel before Jimmy Kimmel got real famous. They would have their intermissions in between skits. It was like a sketch comedy, sort of, kind of. It's shitty. Don't watch it. In between bits, basically, they would have a girl on a trampoline, and she would jump around, and her titties would wobble, and she'd be in a bikini. It was called The Man Show. Not for me. But if I need that kind of advice, I mean, there's no better person to ask than Adam Carolla. Let's be honest. He'll know. He'll know the trampoline. He'll know the dimensions. He'll know the goddamn serial number off of the bikini that you got to order for maximal bouncage, dude. He'll know. But if I'm asking about COVID protocol, probably not Adam Carolla. Just probably not. Guessing he doesn't have a lot of medical background.
In California, they're so soft over there that only one place basically defied him, and they shut him down and put a fence around the business, pulled his license. They're out of business now. But if everyone would just step up and do it, there's safety in it. And I feel there's more and more voices. I mean, I will credit you guys to a large extent in making it safe for people to speak out who never felt.
Are you saying that safe spaces might have some benefits, Adam Carolla? A nice little safe space. to make sure that those who disagree with you don't shout you down? Where you can feel secure in your livelihood and well-being and say what you want to say, how you want to say it, in a place where people will understand you and validate you when you do that? Sounds like SJW shit to me. Do you think the 3-week lockdown really would have worked? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it wouldn't have eradicated COVID, but it certainly would have stemmed all the tide here. And then if you just basically do the Australia method, where they have a very strict few days of lockdown, and if you just comply with that, like, obviously you're gonna have outliers and you can't do it all the time, but like pretty much everyone was just like, hey, if you just like quarantine from each other, you can't spread it and it'll die. It won't have any way to incubate. So yeah, I mean, that's just how the virus works, right? It just won't be able to reproduce, which is all the virus is doing. Why do they only support collective action for the shittiest reasons? Because they don't know how to do stuff. They have no fucking like actual understanding of ethics. They just they sort of rally around their different little tribal reasons for stuff. Like, there's no reason to be anti-COVID or anti-vaccine. They turned it into a political cudgel.
Felt safe.
But Australia has better control of their borders, right? Well, sure. Only due to their geography, but we do as well. We have pretty good. The worst part would be like Europe and China. But America is, again, we are our own hemisphere of the world. We have pretty goddamn good border stuff going on there. And then all you would have to do is, like, again, if you don't allow people in, it would be a lot easier. It's not like people are smuggling themselves into Mexico to get into the U.S. specifically to spread COVID.
Speaking out before.
What I actually want to ask you about is what your show's going to look like. Because basically what Jeremy came to me with was two options. One was an extension of Smokey Mike and the God King, and the other was literally anything else. And the literally anything else, it turns out, was your show. And so I want to hear about what that's actually going to be like, 'cause it's pretty awesome.
All right, well, we're going to call it Adam Carolla Truth Yeller because I tend to get fired up on stage. I'm going to invite my comedic friends. I have Jay Leno is going to join me on the first show.
Jay Leno. Oof. Now Jay Leno.
And Rob Riggle, veteran, by the way, is going to join us as well.
Rob Riggle. Jay Leno and Rob Riggle. Wowzers. Really got the cream of the crop.
And I go out and I do about 10 minutes of stand-up at the start, just like I did tonight. And then we'll do a quick interview of Jay or whomever the guest is. And at some point, we'll pull balls out of a hopper. Now, before the show, everyone writes one word down on a ball. Just a single word.
They're going to get N-word at some point. They are going to get the N-word at some point. Is Jay Leno bad? Well, he's going on the Daily Wire's comedy show with Adam Carolla.
On a ball, it'll go into a hopper. It'll be like lotto. And the guest will pull the ball, read the word, and I'll do an improvised stand-up
Rob Riggle was on the Daily Show. I don't know that he is now. I mean, no, he's not now, but
set on that one word with an assist with them.
I don't know. Unless they come on and challenge him, which would be fine.
Awesome.
I'll go on Adam
this is what
Carolla's
we've
show.
been talking about. It's not just.
Hey, how about that? Adam Carolla, invite me to your show, pussy. We'll have a lot of fun, though. It'd be a good time. And maybe you could give me the mic for the 10 minutes. And I can do some crowd work. I'm just kidding. Your fans would be very offended.
Just about news and commentary. If you want to influence the culture, you got to make some culture. We're grateful that Adam's going to come make a little bit of culture with us, and we hope you guys like it. It'll be coming this year.
Yeah, and we have 2 live shows. You're going to be in SoCal. I hope you're not, because it's miserable over there. But if you have to go to SoCal, we're doing October 30th at the Bray Improv. Leno will be there, and Rob Riggle will be there, and we'll tape our first 2 shows that night.
Awesome. Adam Carolla, everybody.
Thanks, you guys.
Can I go? I want to go back real quick. This guy right here is like the Daily Wire, like the exact person that would watch the Daily Wire. You know what I mean? Love it. Look at this guy. He's fucking not happy about that. Fuck Adam Carolla.
Thank you.
Good shit.